What's going on, guys? I just got back from upstate. I figured I would throw together a quick video, and this video is going to be a little different than most. Not that I feel like I have anything to prove to anyone, but I've seen a lot of speculation, a lot of FUD, just ridiculous opinions left and right in the community. Pretty much the whole weekend, after Friday's after hour move until today. People talking about selling out of positions for the conversion, the reverse split. A lot of FUD spreading right now. I want to clear everything up because, like I said in my last video, this move was projected. It came a lot later than I had thought it would, and there was a pretty gnarly fake out in between. But nonetheless, this move was the final landmark to the downside on AMC. And in my opinion now, the bottom is in. And we should be forming an uptrend from here and squeezing. So with that being said, I'm going to jump into the video. And I'm pulling up receipts from Discord. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to show you some receipts. I'm going to show a video clip from one of my videos a month ago. And then I'm going to just really quickly touch on the macro and the flat portion of both cycles. So, June 22nd. June 22nd, 2023. Yep, just made a vid looking for a slightly lower low than the April knife, 350 to 360. June 22nd. July 11th. Also thought about this. Cost to borrow 1,000% plus. That pre-market knife could have been the algo's attempt at a lower low, destroying the bid-ask out of intraday hours like we saw in April. Highly speculative, but if we get upside from here, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Still think we knife. July 11th. July 13th. This was 2 days after we got this move right here. I believe it was 2 days from that move right there. This wick down here, this wick to 388. This was complete speculation at the time, and I started to lean bullish here. I said it's very possible this was the third bottom we were looking for. We were looking for a lower low. This was not a lower low, but we formed a very solid uptrend from here. Let me just continue. July 13th. All right, I'm bullish. I'm not bullish yet, but I'm bullish. And there's three reasons why. Number one, that's a breakout. This is a breakout. This is a descending trend line, a rejection, another rejection there, and then a breakout right here. So I started to lean a little bit more bullish July 13th. July 13th, number two. With all of that being said, it's still 50-50 in my opinion, but I'm leaning slightly more bullish now. What I'm talking about here, the 50-50, is the bottom is in or the bottom is not in. Again, July 13th. The bearish case, we haven't gotten a lower low yet. That's number one. And number two, court news conversion, APE and AMC meet at $3, which now looks like this is the case. The bearish case has now come to fruition. We got the lower low now. We got the approval of the conversion. AMC tanked back to the $3 range. APE started ripping up towards the $3 range. The bearish case has now come to fruition. Doesn't change anything though. Another one from July 13th. Now, backtracking to this, I really quickly want to touch on this. Number one, that's a breakout, which it is. This is a descending trend. This is a breakout from your descending trend right here. Guess where we found a bounce after hours? Here is the same exact trend line that I had drawn. This was the wick down that I was speculating could have been our third bottom, the lower low. I said multiple times we should get a lower low, but we don't have to. When we got this move down and formed this uptrend, broke this trend here, and then got this pump after hours to $9, I was almost certain that we were not getting a lower low for our third bottom. We came down as we should have for the retest, testing on top of the channel. If you remember me saying this was a channel here, broke it to the upside, came down to retest on the channel. And then after hours Friday, we got the knife and found a perfect bounce as a retest right on this trend. So rejection again, rejection, rejection. There's the break, crazy move to the upside, came down for the test, and then knife bounced perfectly off of this trend here. Moving on. Now I want to show two clips. So the first is a video that I put out a month ago. So we'll start with this. And then from there, you drop down to the flat portion where you get 3 touches on the bottom. After that third touch, you form an uptrend, takes you to the squeeze. So from the 6th point here, come down, first bottom, second bottom, and now we're looking for the third bottom, which theoretically should be slightly lower than the April knife that we saw here. Should take us to 3.5 to 3.6 range. By the way, it's 3.5 to 3.6 range. The bottom was 348, 349, I believe. So, pretty dead on. Somewhere slightly lower than that. Doesn't have to be, but I'm imagining that it would be slightly lower. It does not have to be, but I'm imagining that it would be slightly lower, the third bottom. And that's what we're looking for, is that lower low. Now we're waiting for the bottom once again to come back down to this horizontal line here, the green line that I have here, looking for that third bottom. So this looks very good. All right, so first of all, where we were at that point was, I could pull it up really quick, approximately right here. So this is where we were looking for the lower low for the third bottom. So we carved a nice bottom here. This was a 10% move, end of day. And then we started trending down again. We got this wick down. This is where I speculated that maybe this was the third bottom that we were looking for. Because from here, we found a very nice bounce off. This was pre-market, by the way. Found a very nice bounce off, broke this trend, started trending up, got this crazy move after hours to $9, high $8 range. And then we came down for the retest as we should have. And then now we have finally got the third bottom, the lower low, lower than this. Like I said, 3.5, 3.6 range. Pretty sure the bottom here was 348, 349. So pretty much dead on. Took much longer, much longer than I would have liked to see. And we got this very just disgusting fake out in between, this breakout and pump to $9. This is a fake out right here. This is a nasty fake out. And now the community has no idea what's going on, number one. Everyone's freaking out, number two. And just morale in general is just very down. The sentiment in the community right now is very bearish. People unsure of what's going on. I'm showing you what's going on here. So that's number one. Another clip, this was live. Now, this was me streaming live while this happened. Took me 2 minutes to realize what was going on. Christ's sake, man. What did we just touch? Did we really just get the lower low? That's wild. We just got the lower low, bro. Are you serious? Holy shit. The lower low that we were looking for like a fucking month ago, we finally got it. Christ's sake. Not 2 minutes after that move, I understood exactly what was going on. It threw me. I will not lie. This pump here, from this wick down, we found this uptrend, this pump to $9, really fucking threw me off as far as the tracking went. But it makes sense. In the grand scheme, it makes sense, and we've checked off the final landmark to the downside. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed about the macro, and nothing has changed about my price targets. So really quickly, before I end the video, I'm going to touch on two charts. And the first is going to be the macro here. So this is just the macro in AMC that I've shown multiple times. You have a downtrend from 2017 until you squeeze January 2021, which would be comparable to the downtrend here from the breakdown and the flag from the June highs. You have this downtrend. So macro fractal break right here, this gap down, this is the beginning of a new macro right here. This gap down, you get this sideways W move right there before you get into the downtrend. The comparable of this, and really quickly before I get into this right here, this macro break, this gap up, is the start of a new macro. So this macro is from right here until right here, where you get the start of a new macro. You get the January squeeze, come down, you get the June squeeze, come into the flag. Right here, macro fractal break again. New macro starts right here. So macro break right there, macro break right there, W move that plays out sideways, W move that plays out sideways, and then you get into the downtrend. Again, you're just laddering down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Takes you to the end of the blue square that I have shown right here. And then from that point, you drop to the flat portion where you have 3 touches on the bottom. 1, 2, and 3. Again, the third touch is the lower low. This is the lowest low. This is all-time lows on AMC right here. The lowest low in range. From the lower low at the third bottom, you form an uptrend, which breaks you out, and a straight line to your squeeze. Over here, from the 6 point, Three touches on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. The third touch is the lower low. Very exaggerated move here. This is the third peak of our tri-peak right here. So we checked off the final landmark to the downside, the third touch on the horizontal trend here in the green. Lower low, it fucking hurts. It's very annoying, but we checked it off nonetheless. Now, zooming in on the flat portion, the 1, 2, 3 bottoms, that's what we're looking at right now. So on top, January 2021 cycle. On the bottom, the current cycle. So coming down to your first bottom, you have a very slow, choppy trend. All the way down to your first bottom, this white box right here. You're very choppy down here. You bounce above it a couple times. As you see here, bounce above it a couple times before you get this gap up right here. Gap up right there and gap up right here. 5 peaks from there in increasing height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the current cycle, this played out much faster than it did up here. And then into the final iteration of AMC, the W with the tri-peak that leads to the squeeze, we are tracking slower in the current cycle. So the first half of the flat portion, we tracked faster. The second half, we are tracking slower, the final iteration. So from that fifth point, you start trending down from the fifth point, and you get this move in the green, this W, lower leg on the left. As you see over here, you come down to the yellow trend, W with a lower leg on the left. And then from there, you come to your second bottom, as you see here. Over here in the January cycle, it was a very slow, choppy downtrend, just a reiterating bear flag all the way down to your second bottom. In the current cycle, a straight knife down after hours. From there, you gap up into your tri-peak, which you did up here as well. So here's your tri-peak. You have 1, 2, 3 breaks above this red horizontal line that I have drawn here. And then from your second bottom, gap up 1, 2, 3 breaks above this red horizontal line that I have here. And then from that third peak of the tri-peak is where you come down to your third and final bottom. Again, up here, very slow, choppy downtrend, reiterating bear flag all the way down. And once again, just a straight knife after hours. So both the second and third bottom in the current cycle, just a straight knife all the way down after hours. Up here in the January 2021 cycle, a very slow, choppy downtrend. So, which is great. Like I mentioned in my previous video, we don't have to sit through -1, -2% red days to get all the way down to the bottom. We got the bottom just right out of the way after hours, straight knife down to the bottom. Now, one other thing I do want to touch on is this red horizontal line that you see here. So, this red horizontal line that I have drawn across is where so in this move in the green, you pretty much top out there and you reject there, and that's what takes you to your second bottom. Again, very slow, choppy downtrend, but nonetheless pretty much rejecting that red horizontal line. And then from your third peak of the tri-peak, red horizontal line is where you reject, and again, a very slow, choppy downtrend to your third bottom. Current cycle, same story. So here's the move in the green, the W with the lower leg on the left. From this red trend, not a slow, choppy downtrend, but just a straight knife down here. And then you get the 2 pokes above, or the 3 pokes above this trend, the tri-peak. This one, so 1, 2, and then 3. This third peak of the tri-peak, very, very exaggerated move. I'm speculating fully here that we were close to breaking the descending resistance, and we actually did after hours, and that's why you saw a move to this extent. This also could have just been a fake out, just a straight, just one final attempt to absolutely destroy the community's morale and just trap some, last minute short dated calls like out the money. So there's your third peak above, and then where you break down, straight knife down from this red line. So right here, that's where you get your second bottom, right here, third bottom, and 3 pokes above the tri-peak. So right here, same thing. This is where the downtrend starts to your second bottom, and then again, this is where the downtrend starts to your third bottom, and then the 3 pokes above in the tri-peak. So the bottom is now in on AMC. We finally got the lower low. It took forever, but it's here. What now? Very simply put, higher highs and higher lows until we peak. And I'm not sure how fast this uptrend is going to play out. We just touched the bottom, this wick right here, the third bottom. We should now form this uptrend. It's not going to look exactly the same. I promise you that. It won't look exactly the same, but it will be an uptrend forming higher highs and higher lows nonetheless. One thing that I do want to touch on is, yes, we are tracking this final iteration slower in the current cycle, but in general, we are tracking the macro faster than the way it played out back here. Having now touched our third bottom, from your third bottom right here in the 2021 cycle, it was 15 trading days from third bottom until peak. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be 15 days, but what I am saying is this should happen relatively fast. I'm not going over OPEX dates again in this video, but the two targets that we have, I believe, are August 26th or 29th. It's one of those days. I'm not going to even bother going over it. And the other is like September 26th. Those are the next two dates. And one final thing before I conclude the video is that from my initial videos on YouTube, from my very first videos on YouTube, I said every time you see a volatile move in the market to the upside or downside, whether it be, just a crazy move to the upside, an actual squeeze, there's always going to be a catalyst, some sort of justification for the move. From my first videos on YouTube, I said the reverse split, the conversion, is our catalyst. Now, people freaking out about the conversion and the reverse split, I've said it from the beginning, that is the catalyst for our squeeze. And now the fact that it just got approved, you could probably expect Adam Aaron is going to announce that very soon. And I'm not 100% sure. I'm not the fundamentals and news guy. Everyone knows that. But when Adam Aaron announces that, I believe he has to give the stock exchange a 10-day notice. So I'm expecting to hear something from Adam Aaron relatively soon, concerning the reverse split conversion. So that's pretty much it for the video. I just wanted to clear everything up. A lot of FUD spreading around, a lot of panic, fear. I'm just showing you that this was not unexpected. This is what we were looking for from the beginning. This downtrend here, this whole time, I was looking for a lower low at our third bottom, a lower low than what we saw back here. I said more than likely while we were going through this that lower low would be 3.536 range, maybe slightly lower. We found a bounce at 348, pretty much exactly what I was saying. It took a very long time to get it. A lot of fucking bullshit in between, a fake out here. It really threw me off. But nonetheless, we got the final landmark to the downside that we're looking for. Undoubtedly, this is your third bottom, and we will be forming an uptrend here, higher highs and higher lows until we peak. So I'm hoping this cleared everything up for everyone. Again, I don't feel the need to prove myself to anyone. I'm just showing the people who actually care and watch my videos, the people that may be concerned right now. I'm showing everyone, just jogging everyone's memory that this was this move was what we were looking for the past 2 months. So that's it for the video. I will catch you guys probably tomorrow with an update. So have a good night.